First question. Jackson.
Hey Dylan, good to see you again. Last summer, you, Fred, Jeff, you guys were brought in to kind of be the veterans for this team and help kind of usher in this new era, alongside the young guys. Going into year two now, a lot of continuity on the roster. How do you balance still being one of the leaders for this team, but also giving the young guys space to grow and find their own voice as leaders?
I would say one thing is just lead by example. With my routine, with my daily things that I do, and ultimately never put them down in a way of like, oh, I do this way, and you should do this way. And then I guess with that new practice facility, always bringing them in and getting shots up all the time. That's what I think.
Danielle.
Dylan, after last season, going into this season, what are some things that you view as kind of make or break as far as success on the court for this team?
I guess it's playoffs. I just want, these young guys to feel what the playoffs feels like. It is one of a kind to be in a 7-game series with a team. And if, we find a way to, get in the play-in, that's almost the same thing as, feeling that atmosphere of, we got to win this game in order to, make it. But, just growing as a team, getting better and, seeing guys, make or get their goals.
Dylan, what was your Olympic experience like, and how much can you use that coming into the season? Excuse me.
It was a great experience overall. It's not what we wanted. Team Canada. We wanted a medal, but it just gives us motivation. To get back to that point. In LA. 3 years from now. And then what I can bring back from there is just the attention to detail every game. You're only playing about 3-4 games, so you got to be totally locked in to your opponent. And I know it's different with the NBA. You play 2 games, you might play a back-to-back. In the Olympics, we had like 2 days off in the middle. But just that attention to detail, really, homing in on each game.
Adam.
Hey Dylan, are there, just from having worked with the young guys now for the summer, are there differences that you notice now as opposed to when you first got here last year?
Yeah, they kind of like me more a little bit. But, every one of those young guys, Jalen, Jabari, Tari, Cam, they all have different personalities. But the one thing they have in common is that they work hard. They're workers. They're motivated to be better and better at basketball. Just connecting with them, connecting with, the new guy, Reed. I won't call him Rook, I'll just call him Shep. Can't forget about, Eamon as well. But, just working with those guys, motivating them to be better and better at their craft, and finding ways to, mesh all of it together so we can be, the best Houston Rockets team that we can be.
Hey Dylan, can you talk about playing what Adams brings to this team and what it means to you to be able to connect with him again?
He is a boulder. Can't move him. He's gonna get a lot of guys open on screens, especially that's one thing we had kind of struggle with is setting ball screens and getting open and getting advantages in that. So he's gonna be tremendous in that on the offensive end as well. He loves to pass the ball. He's one of the most unselfish players, in our game. And then on the defensive end, he rebounds the ball like no other on both ends. And, he's a presence on the floor. And a lot of guys, fear him when he's on the floor. So, and then, seeing a friendly face, one of my favorite teammates, of my time. And, he finds ways, as a leader to get guys better.
We'll take 2 more. Lashard.
With you being a defensive anchor, can you talk a little bit about what do you think was the difference last season compared to previous season when the Rocks were bottom of the league in several defensive categories, and last year they moved in the top 10 in a lot of the major defensive categories?
I think it's just effort and being on top of it every game. It starts with Ime, being a defensive coach, and then he has, defensive players that, want to play defense, that understand that, you just can't outscore the opponent every night. So, you got to find a way to get stops, schemes, stuff like that. It's just, always pushing them to, build it out. They have all the athleticism to do it, all the, characteristics to be, defensive players. So it's just always try to bring it out of them every single game, challenge them every single game. And, that's why we were top 10. And now with, being together, understanding, our model and our models of what we want to give up for shots, or what we want to, accomplish on a defensive end, I want to be in the top 5.
Ben.
At the end of last season, you mentioned that you felt like you didn't want to stir the pot too much coming off the way things went at the end of your Memphis tenure. And you said that, I'm quoting you, "I feel like the NBA restrained me from playing that type of game, but I've just got to have an I don't care mentality and deal with whatever comes from it."
Mm-hmm.
Do you still feel that way, and what does that potentially look like?
Yeah, I do feel that way, and you're going to see a lot of difference in this year. I'm not going to let, a rep or whatever it is, persona or whatever the case may be is on me. I'm going to play my game, play how I want to play, and if it goes either way, it's just what I got to live with. I feel like during last year I'd have ups and downs of, just finding, trying to find a median in it, but that's not me. And, you're gonna see a lot of, I wouldn't say villainous things, but you're gonna see a lot of, me being me.